Hello students, welcome to a lesson on the OK e-learning program. My name is Uncle Otin. I'm your facilitator for grade 7 social studies. We are going to have a nice lesson on social studies today on the topic colonization. Colonization. What is colonization? Colonization simply means taking control of the administration of a group of people or a country by another country. Ruling another country, taking charge of the affairs, the day-to-day activities, the administration and all the runnings of a group of people or a country by another country is called colonization. So if a country is ruling another country, the country that is ruling the other becomes the colonial master or the colonial country of the other. For example, Ghana was colonized by Britain in some years past before we gained our independence. Therefore, Britain is our colonial country or our colonial master. Okay. Now, why will some countries try as much as possible to take over the administration of another country? Let's examine some of the reasons why countries colonize other countries. For example, why did Great Britain colonize Ghana? It isn't only Ghana that was colonized by some other countries. Most African countries were colonized by other countries. Why would these people colonize other countries? Or why would the Europeans try to colonize most African countries? One of the greatest reasons is for them to carry out their trading activities. The Europeans were into trade, so they wanted peace to carry out their trading activities. They also wanted slaves for their trading and farming activities. The Europeans were doing some plantations in Europe, and they wanted slaves, workers, to go and take over their plantations farming for them. For these reasons, they had to colonize us, suppress us, and take away our powers so that they can command us and cause us to do everything they want from us. The next reason is for them to be able to gain the reputation of being a stronger country. It was known that countries that had colonies were the strongest ones. So they wanted that power, they wanted that name, they wanted that reputation as being considered as stronger countries. Therefore, they chose to get colonies. For protection, they wanted to conquer the stronger nations so as to prevent war between them. In order to prevent war from arising between them, they had to suppress them and turn them into their slaves. For exploitation, Africa had a lot of natural resources, minerals, plantations, timber, water, and a whole lot of natural resources. The Europeans wanted to exploit our resources to develop their countries. For this reason, they colonized Africa, most African countries, to spread the Christian gospel. For example, the Europeans wanted peace to spread the European gospel in Africa because Africa was having a different religion. Most of African countries were idol worshippers, so they would not give way for any other belief. For this reason, the Europeans had to suppress us, take away our peace and freedom, take away our sovereignty, so that they will be able to get a chance to inculcate their belief into the Africans and spread the Christian gospel. For this reason, they colonized Africa. These and many more are the reasons why some countries choose to colonize other countries. By what means did the Europeans colonize Africa? Let's exploit some of the ways by which Africa was colonized by the Europeans. By persuasion or friendship. The Europeans tried to build some friendship ties with some African countries. The African countries only thought the Europeans just wanted to build some friendship ties with them, not knowing that the Europeans were just doing that to open ways for them to get the opportunity to colonize them. Okay? So the Africans were just thinking of friendship. Meanwhile, it was at the back of the mind of the Europeans to colonize those countries. So they started with friendship, and with time they got the power to conquer and colonize some African countries. By treaty or agreement, the Europeans signed a lot of peace treaties, peace bonds with some African countries and with some regions in certain African countries to establish some kind of peace relationship between them, which at the end led to colonization of those countries or those regions in Africa. For example, we all remember the bond of 1844. The Europeans signed this bond with the Ashantis because they knew the Ashantis were very, very powerful and wouldn't give in for any kind of suppression. So they signed this treaty with some Fantis, some Ashantis, and other kings in Ghana so as to enable them get a chance to colonize our country. By force, war or conquest, situations where the Europeans were not getting the opportunity to colonize, they used force, they used war to get the power to colonize some African countries. Colonization brought a lot of positive and negative effects on Africa, of which we are still experiencing and suffering from some of the negative effects today. We are also enjoying from some of the positive effects today in our lives. Let's examine some of the negative effects colonization has had on Africa. Africans have developed strong taste for foreign goods, continental foods, continental clothes and services. We are not interested in our made in Ghana goods and services. We are not interested in the clothes, the footwear, and even the food that our local women produce. We are interested in Western lifestyle, Western food, Western music, Western clothes, everything Western. Okay? So as a result of colonization, Africans have developed strong taste for continental goods and services than our locally made ones. The next one, dependence on colonial masters. Even though we have gained freedom, we still rely on our colonial masters for our well-being. Ghana still relies on her colonial masters for money, for loans, for developmental aids, and a whole lot of stuff. We are still slaves to our colonial masters because we still depend on them for some things to develop our own country. Loss of true identity. Africans have lost their true identity. Once that we have no taste for made in Ghana goods, African-made clothes and footwear, we have lost our identities. Africans are now interested in continental music, continental lifestyle, continental clothes, clothes that our forefathers would never urge us to wear. We wear them, giving us some loss of sense of true identity. The African identity is lost from a lot of African homes because of colonization. We have also lost our image and self-respect. We always bow down to continental goods and services, but we discriminate and underestimate our own made in Ghana products. We have lost our image. Let me take that part again. We have lost our image and respect because we have no respect for our locally made goods and services. For example, when you go and buy something and then you see that they have inscribed on it, made in Ghana, you choose to stop buying it. Because in your conscience, you have it at the back of your mind that made in Ghana goods are not good. How? How can you underestimate your own products and rate someone's products? How will you underestimate your economy but boost the growth of someone's economy? That is our mentality now. Colonization has taken away our image and our self-respect. Slavery mentality. We are still slaves to our colonial masters because we are no more interested in our own identity. We hype things made from abroad than locally made things. For this reason, we are still slaves to our colonial masters. We still have the mentality of slavery due to colonization. What are some of the positive effects colonization has had on Africa? Let's examine some of them. Colonization did not do only us harm. In fact, it did us a lot of good. I wouldn't have known the nature and the future of Africa if we had not experienced any kind of colonization. Let's examine some of the positive effects colonization has had on Africa. Introduction of formal education. Classroom learning and formal education was only introduced in Africa during the times of colonization by our colonial masters. And that is what we are all enjoying now. Without colonization, we wouldn't have been experiencing what we are experiencing now because our parents didn't know anything about classroom learning. They didn't know anything about formal education. Everything was informal. Everything you are taught to do in the house. Okay? But now we have formal education. We have people taking up white-collar jobs in Africa as a result of colonization. Provision of infrastructure. We have different kinds of infrastructure. Cars, roads, buildings, offices, a whole lot of different kinds and varieties of infrastructure as a result of colonization. We have cars, trains, aeroplanes, all in Africa as a result of colonization. Plantation farming. The colonial masters introduced a lot of plantation farming in Africa, such as sugarcane plantation and a whole lot of plantations, cotton plantations and other plantations that could benefit the production and industries of the colonial masters that were established in Africa. Establishment of peace, law, and order. Now we have a systematic administration. We have systematic governance. We have the court of law, which has been divided into rooms and zones. We also have our administration being divided into arms, the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. All were introduced into this country by the Britain. All were introduced into this country by the British. Finally, we all have a common language now. All Africans can now communicate through the English language. Without colonization, we would be having our own languages, different languages that other countries wouldn't understand. But now, everybody understands the English language in Africa. For that reason, colonization has done us good by introducing the common English language in Africa. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thanks for staying with me. I encourage you to watch this video over and over again so as to get the concepts to be able to do the assignments that you have taken from the school's premises. Thanks for staying with me. Until we meet next time for the next lesson, stay home, stay safe, eat well, and take very good care of yourself. Bye-bye.